Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I'm doing some color mixing. This is for the Facebook group My Creative Year. Gina's been talking about color mixing, and I think there's a couple other videos out there on color mixing for the Facebook group. And I've been playing with Dina Wakley's paints lately, and so I wanted to do some mixing with her paints, which are a little bit non-traditional, not perfect red, yellow, blue. This stencil is by Gina B. Ahrens. It's just kind of a basic color wheel. I thought I would trace the lines and then we can fill them up with color. But like I said, I've been playing with Dina Wakley's paints for a while now, and I've done a few different color mixing, and it's actually a really good idea to take the paints you're using and mix them and do like a color chart and see what kind of colors you can come up with what you have on hand. I'll insert a picture here of the color mixing I did previously. So here I took all of her colors and combined them all together to see what different colors I could come up with. And I think there's some really pretty colors going on there. So now that I've got that stencil done, and if you're interested, it's in Gina's Etsy store. I'm pretty sure it's not sold out or anything. You can pick that up for not too expensive. Or you can just, make your own. And it doesn't have to be a circle. It can be the grid like on the other page that I had created. And I didn't even draw lines for that one. I just kind of painted. So I'm going to fill in these main colors first, and then we'll get to mixing. So I know doing a color wheel can get really complicated and convoluted, and I didn't want to get too complicated, but I decided since there was 3 sections for each color, I would do, I believe it's tone and shade. So so there's a hue or color, which is what I've put down already. Then there's tint, tone, and shade. Tint is adding white, I believe. Tone is adding gray, and here I'm trying to make some gray. My paint's almost empty. It won't go sideways. And you have to be careful. So that's just Daler Rowney Titanium White. The other is Grumbacher Mars Black. And black can overwhelm like fast. Especially this Mars Black. It is like black. And just one little touch of it will turn your stuff black. So, tone is the gray, which is black and white. And you see there, kind of looks a little green on that yellow. And different blacks will give you different effects. Like there's lamp black. I don't have any of that. I'm not sure whether it's a cooler shade of black or a warmer shade of black. But this one is Mars Black. See, I thought it was too dark, so I added a little bit more yellow to it. So a shade is just black added to the color. You're not adding gray or any white to it. You're just adding the black. And so there's our shades, our tone and our shade for our yellow. So if you were doing something that was 3-dimensional, that would give you, help you to make it look more round or 3-dimensional. Now, here I've added the gray to the magenta and it turns a little purple. So I'm thinking, because the yellow looks a little green and the magenta looks a little purple, that there's got to be a little blue in that Mars Black. That's my opinion anyway. And I'm trying very hard to clean the brush in between. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing. There, see, it kind of looks like a dark purple, doesn't it? Yeah, it's interesting. So it's interesting to find out what kind of colors you're going to get when you mix different colors. And you don't have to have all the same from the same place. Like, I mean, the three main colors are Dina Wakley, but that's just because I wanted to use those. You could use any kind of paint, whatever you have. Whatever you have that's the closest to red, yellow, and blue, try them and mix them and see what interesting colors you can come up with. I think Dina Wakley's colors, her mixes, when you mix her colors, are really pretty. Even the ones that should look like mud, they're pretty mud. Okay, now let's do some color mixing. So we're going to take some lemon and magenta. Now if we were doing yellow and red, we'd get orange. I suspect we should still get orange. Actually, I think this color is really pretty once I paint it onto the paper, onto the white. See, isn't that pretty? Really bright too, isn't it? Almost feel like it's neon, sort of. So now we're gonna do the tone, which is adding the gray. Looks a little brownish, doesn't it? Yeah. To me, that tells me there's a little blue in that Mars Black. Anyway, so have you guys been doing color mixing? Have any of you doing My Creative Year, following it this year, with all the color prompts each month? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you're up to. Now we're going to go for some yellow and some turquoise. And that should give us a green. Guess I decided it needed more yellow. Try to do even increments, but it's kind of hard. Trying to find a spot to mix. Trying to find a spot to mix on without covering my entire table. So I just barely did a touch, and look how black it got. So dark. Alright, so now we're going to do turquoise and pink and come up with a purple. See, isn't that pretty? I just think you can't fail mixing with Dina Wakley's colors. They just really work well together. Ooh, maybe I should use them on the jelly plate. That'd be some nice colors on the jelly plate. Of course, my paints are so dry and old. That's what you get for buying them on clearance, don't you know? Alright, so I didn't make you watch me mix the other ones, and I just did, a little more pink on one, a little more blue on the other. Did the whole thing the same way. And so I think the color wheel is really pretty, and it shows you what you can come up with. Now I decided I didn't want to leave all this white space and have all this paint left over, mostly yellow, and a lot of gray. So we're just gonna decorate the rest of this page. Just putting a little shadow underneath my color wheel there, make it stand out a little bit. And I did cheat. I pulled out some, I think it's lime green is what Dinoiku calls it, just because I had it and didn't think I needed to mix a color again. Added some gray to it so it would show up. And we're just gonna make a flower. So this flower gets a little crazy, weird looking, a little out of hand, but it's just fun. I just wanted to put something on this blank page. And might as well use the color mixes, right? Use up what you got. So my camera ran out of battery and I switched to my cell phone for this last bit, so the lighting is different, the distance is different, because I don't really have a stand for my phone, I just have it propped. And you can see my flower is a bit of a hot mess. I did add some darker green just because that green was having a hard time showing up. I don't know, it's a crazy flower. It gets halfway decent by the end. So I'm still wanting to help my poor little journal page, so I'm going to stencil over the background. Using the paints that I've mixed that are sitting there on the right hand side, we're just going to go over it all and mix it. Got a little green dot on my petal, so I'm just gonna use my finger and paint it out. Alright, so I take a Stabilo All to the outline of my petals on my flower to hopefully help it look better. I feel like it needed some help. And then I go around on the bottom and the stem. Decided to add a little word there. Optimistic. We're optimistic about this page. Anyway, so I figured I would put the color names on here just so that we remember what we did. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you give some color mixing a try. You can do it with any paint, anywhere. Thanks for watching.